Big man ting, yeah. Today we're watching Castillo's reaction to his time on Inside. Inside shows started about last week and it finished last week as well. Pretty interesting, it was quite cool. But yeah, we're gonna see how Castillo, the fanta lite connoisseur, reacts to it. Like and subscribe, let's get straight into it.
Big man ting, yeah, bruv. As some of you lot know already, I won this season of Inside, bruv.
He didn't win this season of Inside.
In fact, I'm already spending the money, bruv. I went and copped a new whip, bruv. Went and got a Range Rover, bruv. Mad ting.
That RC car was like one of the only things that Castillo used inside the house. If you remember, he was playing with that RC car all the time. Whenever someone was talking to him, whenever he was sat down, it was just his toy car at this point. So it's even funny that he took it home with him and it has it right there. But
yeah, real talk though. Big up the Sidemen, bruv. Well done to them for putting on the best reality show ever, bruv. And I
have to say, I really agree with that. The Sidemen put on an insane show. Inside was really good, and I'm surprised at the quality. Of course, there were some hiccups, there were some things that didn't go too well, but this is their first time doing a reality show. That's kind of a given.
Glad that I was a part of it. Big up all the production, big up everybody involved in making it, the cast, everybody, and big up all the Sidemen fans, bruv, because you guys have been amazing, bruv. Like I said, I'm very grateful and blessed to be a part of the show, bruv. So big up the Sidemen.
Thank you, Inside, bruv.
Now, my reasons for going in the show, bruv, I'm not gonna lie to you, bruv. I was just going in there for vibes.
When you have a look at like the people there, and if you compare, obviously not pocket watching, but if you compare all of them, Fanum was probably the least likely to go in there for money. He's Fanum, he's part of AMP. This guy has a blue Lamborghini. I don't think he needs the 150k compared to everyone else there. Obviously, if he wins it, he wins it, but just a comparison. So to hear that Castillo only went in there for vibes and as a holiday, he probably thought he was going to get voted out initially, which is fair enough, to be honest. I didn't think he was going to win at all.
I thought it's a week holiday. Man's gonna go in there, jam with some famous people and that, and eat some free food, bruv. It's a week out the yard. Just get to chill. You get me, bruv? Just dust about for a bit. That was my motives.
And honestly, that's a really good idea. That's a really good motive for going into the show, to just chill and relax. At the end of the day, if you put your mind to it, if you lose the money, at least you had a fun holiday, you know, that kind of thing. Whereas if you go in there all guns blazing, only like wanting to win, and then you end up losing, it's going to hit you a bit more harder as opposed to just enjoying it.
For going into the house, bruv, yeah? Now, when I got to the house, I only knew two people there. Like, so I knew Chloe because I always watched Love Island, so big up Love Island and that. And I'd seen Specs because I think Specs knows a lot of people that I know from social media.
I never heard of Specs until he went on the Chunks and Philly show. Not only the Chunks and Philly show, but I think it was the Sidemen Try Not to Laugh. The one they did in person where they were like all holding water in their mouth and they were trying not to laugh. Those were the only two times I've heard of Specs before. So when people would say, oh, Specs, there's Specs, I'd be like, bro, who is Specs? What are you talking about? But honestly, he's quite funny as well. He also got gifted a bunch of sweets by the Sidemen, so they really put like their all into this show. It was honestly quite cool.
So I'd seen Specs before, and Angry Ginger just popped up on my TikTok, but I didn't really know who he was like that. Everybody else I didn't really know. I was probably the least known on the show, to be fair. Like when I was talking to them, I realized that they had some huge followings, you get me? My TikTok got banned a week before I went in the house, bruv. How mad is that, bruv? I had like 600k in there, get banned for sharing a reaction video of John Fury.
I will say TikTok kind of tends to just ban you for no reason. But then again, you can say the same about every other social network.
Nothing, man, bruv. I was like, bruv, what's going on? But anyway, you would think to yourself that you would feel weird of all these cameras filming you, but after a while, you actually forget that they're there. Like, even at one point, I got out of the shower, bruv, and man was completely naked, and I thought, yo, I'm 99.9% sure that the production just all saw my willy, bruv. You get me? Willy.
I feel like if you're on a reality show, after a while, you just kind of forget the cameras are there. When you go in, your first thought is the cameras are on me. I'm constantly being watched, that kind of thing. But eventually it just kind of settles and you're like, well, the cameras are on me anyway. You kind of just forget. Obviously, I've never been on a reality show or else I wouldn't be stuck on 30 subs.
Just swinging, bruv. I was thinking, yo, bruv, like, what's going on, bruv? Yeah, but there's cameras everywhere, and you do forget that they're there after like about...
I was kind of right. Bear in mind, I've not watched this video before. So I was kind of right.
20 minutes, bruv. So when people say that, how do people like get filmed all day? Like, you will naturally forget, bruv. And that's how you could get lost, bruv. And say a mad thing, but it's very easy to forget. Inside the house, the way they did the house was amazing, bruv. I'm not gonna lie, after I left, I kind of missed it a little bit because I was like, right, I actually felt like being in my own yard in some ways.
I will say from the show, it did look really good. The house looked good. All the rooms looked quite good, although the shop was kind of bare bones, but that's the whole point. The beds were bare bones, but again, that is also the whole point. The whole like house as a whole and in the aesthetics, they look really, really good. So props to the Sidemen for like putting a proper budget towards this, making sure it really succeeds. It did look really, really good.
Now, the Joe vs Manri situation was proper mad because it kind of came out of nowhere.
It really did, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the way Manri was saying that Joe was overly sensitive about it. At the end of the day, you only knew him for 2 days and you made a joke like that. Most people would be offended, especially because, as I just said, you only knew him for 2 days. Was it even 2 days or was it just 1 day? So it was kind of nuts for her to go and say you're oversensitive. You just can't make jokes like that with people.
And at first, I thought, when she said it, I jumped up and everybody laughed and all that stuff. But then directly after, when I kind of looked at him and I could tell that he didn't find it funny, I basically was like, oh, raw. And then the next day, me and him was in the gym and I went up to him and I apologized to him. I said, Brev, I'm sorry for laughing. I didn't know that you took it that way.
This is really real of Castillo to do because, honestly, they didn't show this part, I don't think. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But it does show that he does have good intentions at the end of the day. Because it was kind of sad how no one else really backed Joe apart from, I think, Castillo in the house. So for him to go up and ask him and tell him, you know, hope you're right and sorry for laughing, that's a big man thing.
Like when she said that to you until after, like your reaction. So the next day I went to him and on a man thing, I said, brother, I'm sorry for laughing, like I respect your thing in it, and moving forward I know that boundary for you in it, like, so man's never gonna cross that boundary, and sorry for laughing. So I'd said that to him. I mean, him spoke about it. He said he asked me if I felt like he overreacted.
Personally, I don't feel like he overreacted. At the end of the day, you've got to have those boundaries. You've got to make sure that people don't say things and you just take them as a joke, especially if they're not jokes to you. So I don't think he overreacted. I think his reaction was right. At the end of the day, he didn't find it funny. He let her know to her face, I didn't find it funny. It was her that started going weird about it as well. So I feel like Joe was properly mature in this aspect.
The situation, I said no, because at the end of the day, you gotta be honest with how you feel. Like if you don't feel that or you're not cool with that, you have to say it. Otherwise, people are gonna keep overstepping the boundaries and you can't have that, bruv. I told him, bruv, nah, like you gotta speak your thing, bruv. If you don't feel comfortable, it's okay not to feel comfortable, and you handled it the right way, bruv. So don't ever think less of yourself for speaking up and talking your mind, bruv. So big up him. What I didn't see was, obviously when the initial thing happened, I didn't know that when they went downstairs, she had tried to listen on what he said.
I feel like this part was kind of bad. I'm not sure why, but she didn't have to go and start listening to the conversation. Everyone goes in there and speaks their mind. There was no reason for her to go and start listening at the door. It was just a bit silly.
And then called him like a scrawny little C. Like, but when I saw that afterwards when the show came out, I was like, rah, like that's a bit mad, bruv. Like, you get me? If you was in the wrong, like just apologize to man on a serious thing, and like it's done, innit?
That's just the truth, honestly. They could have just apologized and been done with it, but she had to drag it on for whatever reason.
I feel like they've resolved their issue or whatever, but yeah, that was a mad thing. But Fanum spam shower incident. So basically,
this is the part we all want to hear, the Fanum spam shouting part, because this part was a bit crazy. If for anyone who doesn't know, there was a bit of spam, a can of spam put in Castillo's bed by Fanum, but he apparently meant to put it in Ginger's bed, and Castillo went off on one.
This is what happened. The votes things that happened, I generally don't care, bruv, because the game is the game, bruv. I thought I was gonna be there for 3 days, bruv. When them man had me in there for longer, I was like, yo, bruv, the holiday continues, bruv. When I went to the bed and I saw the spam in my bed, I thought they was trying some weird psychological bullying thing. You get me? I was thinking, what are these men on, bruv?
To be fair, when he said this just now for half a second, I didn't understand what he meant, because what does he mean by psychological bullying? But it just kind of clicked at the same time. He had been voted out previously. Obviously, he knew he was going to go. And if people start putting things in his bed and stuff and then start just ostracizing him, it is going to feel like it's a little bit of a bullying thing. So I do see his standpoint, but then again, at the same time, he did kind of overreact, so it does kind of balance out.
Man, who's doing that? You get me?
Who put a spam in my bed?
So I just thought, alright, cool, I'll just go down and run up the shower, bruv, because until somebody tells me who did that, I'm just gonna stay there. So the plan was to stay there for 24 hours on some David Blaine thing, bruv. It was gonna be a social experiment.
I'm running down the money until somebody said so.
This is a fucking protest. Get out.
I just wanted somebody to come down and tell me it wasn't it. So then when Fanum comes down and he starts talking, I don't believe him, bruv. I think he's covering for someone.
I can kind of get that point, and you could see the same thing, like what he's saying. He definitely thought someone was covering, like Fanum was covering for someone, because he, took a bit of time, but eventually Fanum started to get upset as well, which is something I did not see throughout the entirety of the time Fanum was in the house. Fanum seemed to be one of the coolest people there when it came to level-headedness and emotions. So to see him angry was a bit, never seen this before. But then again, you have to see Castillo's side in this as well. Running up the shower was probably not the best idea. At the same time, I can kind of see how he feels. So it is kind of a 50-50 thing.
But then halfway through, when he was getting like angry and irate, my thinking mind went into it, and I was like, yo, bruv, maybe I can get this guy eliminated, bruv. Let me try and make him snap, and then they'll kick him out the show, bruv.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't thinking that aspect was coming in. I honestly thought he was gonna be like, yo, maybe he's actually not the one who did it, so let's just bless it out. I was not expecting him to say, let me get this guy eliminated.
And then, that's another person gone, bruv. So that's closer to the final, bruv. That's another less person that, is in the thing. So it got so mad. What you lot didn't see is that the production came and told us all to go upstairs. So I go upstairs and I'm moving vexed, bruv. I'm like, just wondering who did it, because I don't believe that he did that, yeah? So I'm by the bed. Now, it looks like I'm yelling at the gal then, but I'm really addressing everybody in the room, because...
Now, a lot of people online did kind of debate this part and say that he was screaming at the girls. Initially, I did see that as well, and then I thought, yeah, he's just shouting at the girls. But when you look at it, Specs is there, and I believe Ginger's in the room as well. And with the angle of the camera, I think he is trying to address everybody in the room. But obviously, this camera is angled very weirdly, so it's just pointing directly at the women only in the room. But I think he was trying to address everyone. Seeming as when Ginger and Fanum came in, he was still talking as well. So I do see the point that he's making, as well as the girls feeling like they were only being addressed. But there were other people in the room. Specs is right there as well. So it is a bit of an odd one for them to say that.
I think everybody's there. And again, I'm naked in a row, bruv. So really and truly, I'm just there in it, creaming my feet and that. So then Fanum comes back in and he's trying to explain to me. I'm thinking, bruv, I don't believe you, bruv. So I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, all right, cool. I'm like, nah, I do not believe you at all, bruv. Yeah, and then I think production came upstairs to calm it down. And I thought, oh, raw. I might be getting eliminated, bruv. They're gonna think I'm moving mad, trying to stir drama and all that. I was thinking, damn, so let me just
This part confuses me when he says that, because he already knew he was getting eliminated. Unless I'm getting the 2 days mixed up. I'm pretty sure by this point he already knew he was getting eliminated. So I'm not sure why he said maybe I'm getting eliminated. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, give me a video recommendation. I'll see you when I next see you. It's looking good, bruv. See ya.